We are live. Welcome to my video. This is going to be my thoughts on Young Jedi Adventures Season 2, Episode 7, Mine and Hours / the Andraven Circuit. Now, the episode is for, I want to say, 7 years age and up, so will this video be. There will be spoilers for the episode and at least some Star Wars franchise stuff leading up to it. Excuse me. Yeah, another good to great episode. Let's dive right in. So, yeah, the redemption arc, that's the word, of Cyrus. I want to say, crap. I think his name is Cyrus. Prince Cyrus, continues. Yeah, I think they're still doing a really good job on that. Let's see. We have the the double lives kind of clashing. Like he's behaving somewhat more like Tabor, and yeah, again this conflict between what his parents want and what he wants. Their idea of what he should be like versus what feels right to him. He does want friends. He does want to be nice to people. It's buried under all this, stuff from his parents. Let's see. I think, yeah. It was kind of sweet the way the relationship gradually improved between him and the princess, and the thing about he has a workshop too, but his parents discourage this whole thing. I think that might just about, yeah, and for like parts of the episode, Cyrus definitely does care about the shiny thing to end all shiny things, but by the end he realizes, like, yeah, it's not as important as people. Though it was kind of amusing to me, the bit of the more important than the shiny things are all of you, and I'm like, everyone there is like rich and privileged. Are you sure you don't want to like make sure to underline that you don't mean that they're more important than like regular people? I'm just kidding. Let's see. Obviously, the powerful are not more important than the rest of us, but I don't think they were like trying to imply otherwise. The Star Wars has always been explicitly on the side of the underdog. But yeah, he makes a wrong turn at Albuquerque and grabs the crystal. And he's like, "See, it's fine, Cyrus. That was a load-bearing crystal." And yeah, very nicely done on the bugs, the incense. I yeah, they do a really good job of pushing it as far as they can. As far as like, obviously they are meant to be kind of creepy and we're meant to be uncomfortable about them, but it is also a show for 7-year-olds. Yeah, like that shot where we see all their eyes light up inside, that pushed it as far as it could go. It's like reminiscent of, this is Disney. It's reminiscent of like animated Disney classics, like Snow White, the forest bit, for example. Right. And to be clear, I'm not like making excuses for Disney. I'm just admiring the work of the people they overwork and underpay. Yeah, that might be just about. Let's see. Yeah, and we again see, it's not about never making a mistake. It's about what you do to make it up to other people. Because certainly Cyrus does a bunch of things that he shouldn't in this episode, and that he's told not to. But he also makes an effort to make things better, and does end up giving up the brooch, and which is good because it was gauche. Yeah, I think that might just about cover that entire. Yeah, there at the end, he helped save the day after he broke it, and the prince is like, "Come here, let's eat together." Like the he is an accepted member of the group despite making mistakes, and you can tell from the look on his face, yeah, he is like, he does want this kind of acceptance. I think even as much as his parents encourage him to think of himself as above others. Right, yeah, I have not been to Disneyland. I don't suspect I ever will. But I'm just saying, if they don't at some point have a Star Wars themed roller coaster that is based in part specifically on the cave traversal in this first story of this episode, they are just throwing away money. That looked so much fun. Right, I also appreciate, this entire episode, there's not really fighting as such. Like, there's a little bit, there's some defending people against the bugs, but, I quite appreciate, I don't think Star Wars always has to have fighting. There's other ways to have excitement. Here, it was the cave traversal, it was dealing with the insects. And, the second story, yeah, it's the tension, the various things that go wrong along the way. And there is a threat to them, but there's no, like, they don't commit acts of violence against it. Which does bring us nicely into the second half. So, yeah, I am never the biggest fan of, like, these stories where, like, wolves are shown as this, danger to human beings. But I do appreciate, yeah, by the end of the episode, it is also, this thing that's, been part of Star Wars since the beginning of, try to live in harmony with nature. Don't, don't try to control it, much less destroy it or exploit it or that sort of thing. I think that does bring us to the and I suppose an argument could be made that they were on its, like, territory, so it was defending its territory, yeah, another really solid message with, you can't plan for everything, and, yeah, the father just straight up telling him, I know this test, that the trials are very important to you, but just, I want you to, there's other things in life. I mean, if you fail, you're out of the family. You're going to have to live in exile. But still, have fun, and the kid's like, fun? I didn't plan for fun. There's nothing in the data pad about fun. I didn't research fun, just, yeah. Let's see, I think, yeah, and throughout the second story of the episode, it is this thing of, like, yeah, using nature in a way that doesn't, like, destroy it, but helps you survive. And yeah, I mean, it's, if when they first said, oh, we came here and there was nothing, and we made it, like, at first it sounded a little too, like, okay, so, like, you're colonizers is what you're saying, and you're, like, trying to whitewash your image. I don't know, maybe I'm cynical, maybe I'm too cynical for a show for 7-year-olds. It just, the show's a little bit on notice after it botched the whole reparations story several episodes back. Anyway, yeah, the once we actually get into, okay, so, they found things in nature that helped them survive, and it wasn't about, like, shaping these things. It was just, yeah. Then it felt a lot more indigenous coded. Love that. Let's see. Yeah. early on we're told, so originally, there were wolves here. Right, we have the thing about, it's just make sure something unusual might happen on this, and everyone's whose age is in double digits is like watching, something unusual is definitely going to happen. And then he says, oh, we haven't seen a wolf in years. So what you're saying is it would be very unusual. It's for 7-year-olds. It's not really criticism. I just can't help but notice. It definitely does want to make sure the kids are on board, can follow the story. Yeah, I think it's good. I'm just joshing. Yeah, I think that does bring us nicely to the let's see. I don't have an awful lot to say about the first couple of trials. Let's see. I think. Right, yeah, I really appreciate the thing about, sometimes you are able to find, things in nature that will help you. You don't have to destroy nature to get it. Am I repeating myself? I'm not trying to. Then we have the other message of cooperation. Love that from, America definitely needs to get over its whole individualism thing of, none of us can make it on our own in reality. Yeah, the wolf. That was another case where they did a good job making it just scary enough that 7-year-olds are still on board, but also feel like, oh, that's scary. You don't want to run into that thing on its own territory. And yeah, they're talking about, okay, if we distract the wolf, Nubs, what are you doing? That is really distracting. Oh, right. And Nubs, climbs a mountain because he's in love. I mean, a tree to get away from the wolf. And the, let's see. Yeah, I appreciate the tension with the flute. At first, it's like, is it not working? But then it's like, I am now authorized to be loyal as a puppy. And yeah, I'm kind of digging that in these Star Wars shows, like if there are wolves, there's a decent chance, a major character is gonna be able to like ride one of them in a cool way. So that's, yeah. I think that does bring us nicely to the end. Yeah, it really ended up extremely friendly. Like that, what a speed run that was of like domesticating wolves.